Ladies and gentlemen, brothers and sisters in Christ, today I want to talk about something divine, something bold, and something that aligns you with the infinite substance of the universe. I want to talk about how to act like a millionaire before the money appears in your hand. You see, in the invisible realm, all things already exist. God has already prepared the table. It's up to us to walk in faith and sit down. The millionaire life does not begin when the money comes. It begins when you align your thoughts, your words, and your actions with the vibration of abundance. We do not wait to see it before we believe it. No. As I always say, faith is the substance of things hoped for, the evidence of things not seen. When you act as though you're already wealthy, calm, generous, fearless, you call that reality into form. Your only enemy is fear, and fear is simply faith turned inside out. But when you act with divine confidence, when you walk like a child of the King, money and opportunities will rush to meet you like iron filings to a magnet. So today, let's talk about how to prepare the inner temple so the outer world may reflect the riches that are already yours by divine right. When we talk about embodying the energy of wealth before it arrives, we're talking about aligning yourself with the vibration of prosperity long before you hold the physical evidence of it in your hands. This is a spiritual law, a divine truth that works beyond the surface of material conditions. All things in the universe are governed by vibration, by energy. Money itself is energy. It is not just paper, coins, or digital numbers in a bank account. It responds to frequency, to mindset, to belief. So to become a magnet for it, you must begin by becoming what it responds to: abundance. The mistake many people make is thinking they have to wait until they have money before they can be wealthy. But the spiritual path reverses that logic. In the divine order of things, you must first be, then do, and finally have. Being comes before having. So, to have wealth, you must first learn to feel wealthy, act wealthy, and carry yourself as someone who already possesses it. This is not about pretending, nor is it about faking. It is about faithfully tuning yourself to the frequency of what you desire, knowing that it is already yours by divine right. When you embody wealth energetically, you shift your attitude. You stop thinking like someone in lack. You stop speaking as if you are waiting on something outside of you to change. You stop agreeing with fear, with struggle, with desperation. Instead, you begin to carry yourself with the calm, grounded assurance that all your needs are already met. You begin to understand that God is your source, not your job, not your bank account, not your circumstances. This kind of shift happens internally before it ever manifests externally. It begins with thoughts, quiet, repetitive thoughts that become affirmations, and affirmations that become beliefs. When you wake up and say, "I walk in abundance. I live in divine overflow. I am provided for richly, endlessly, and without delay," you are not just saying words. You are sending out vibrations into the spiritual law of the universe. And the law, being impersonal and exact, will mirror that vibration back to you in the form of people, opportunities, resources, and yes, money. But you must first believe it. You must accept it in consciousness before you can receive it in form. Florence Scovel Shinn often said, "Man can only receive what he sees himself receiving." If you see yourself as poor, struggling, or barely getting by, then that is what you will continue to manifest. If you see yourself as abundant, capable, favored, and worthy of wealth, then your outer world will begin to adjust itself to match that inner vision. This is not a fantasy. This is spiritual science. Every millionaire, before they made their first million, had to believe it was possible. Not only possible, but already true in the invisible realm. Your imagination is the workshop of your destiny. Use it deliberately. See yourself walking through life with grace, freedom, and ease. See yourself paying bills with a smile, giving without fear, investing with wisdom. See yourself not only receiving wealth, but managing it with divine intelligence. The more real this image becomes in your mind, the faster it will crystallize in your experience. Now, energy is not only in thoughts. It is in posture, tone, and habit. Embodying the energy of wealth, means being mindful of how you carry yourself. Do you walk with confidence, or with hesitation? Do you speak of your desires boldly, or do you shrink back in doubt? Do you look people in the eye, knowing you are equal to anyone, regardless of their net worth? Or do you diminish your own value because of temporary circumstances? These things matter. Wealth responds to certainty, and certainty is a decision, not a result. Another part of embodying this energy is practicing gratitude, not after the money comes, but before. Gratitude is the vibration of receivership. When you say, "Thank you," for what you haven't seen yet, heaven moves. The gates open. You are saying to God, "I trust you. I know you've already done it." That kind of faith cannot go unanswered. It builds momentum. And the more momentum you build in the unseen, the faster your results will appear in the seen. Environment also plays a role. The energy you allow into your space will either amplify or diminish your wealth frequency. Surround yourself with symbols of abundance. This doesn't mean spending money you don't have. It means creating beauty, order, and clarity around you. Clean your space. Light a candle. Print out a picture of the lifestyle you are stepping into. Treat your home, your desk, your clothes, even your meals, with reverence. This is how you teach the subconscious mind that you are already living the life you desire. It's also important to watch your associations. Who are you spending time with? Are you around people who constantly complain, gossip, or speak defeat? Or are you around people who believe, uplift, and affirm the truth of prosperity? The people you allow into your energetic field will either strengthen your alignment or disrupt it. You must protect your field like sacred ground, because that is what it is. Your energy is your currency. Spend it wisely. Faith without works is dead, but works without faith are empty. So let your actions match your belief. Make decisions like someone who trusts the outcome. Delay gratification with purpose. Make plans with confidence. Seek opportunities with boldness. Speak affirmations with authority. Live like you are already there, because in truth, you are. The spiritual realm contains no delay, no limitation, no shortage. When you embody the energy of wealth before the money, you are not waiting. You are receiving. Speak words of prosperity and power daily, because your words are not idle, they are seeds. Every time you speak, you plant something in the soil of your life. And what you consistently plant, you eventually harvest. The universe, God, the divine law, responds not to what you occasionally hope for, but to what you continually speak. Florence Scovel Shinn taught that your word is your wand. It shapes, it commands, it directs the unseen forces that build your outer world. What you declare with faith becomes your decree, and what you decree becomes your experience. Many people cancel their blessings with their own tongues. They pray for abundance, but speak of lack. They ask for opportunities, but constantly talk about being stuck. They want more, but they say things like, "I can't afford that. I never have enough. Money doesn't grow on trees." Or, "I'm always broke." These words are not just harmless expressions. They are affirmations of lack. They carry energy. And because the subconscious mind accepts whatever it is told repeatedly, these phrases build a pattern that the universe mirrors back without judgment. To speak words of prosperity and power is to take dominion over your life through the spoken word. It means becoming conscious of every phrase that leaves your mouth and making sure it aligns with what you want, not what you fear. It requires discipline, awareness, and faith. Faith not in what you see, but in what is becoming. Because at first, when you speak words of abundance, your reality might not reflect them. But you must persist. You must speak as a creator, not a reporter. Do not describe the storm. Command the sea to be still. Daily affirmations are not superstition or wishful thinking. They are tools of transformation. When you declare, "I am prosperous. Money flows to me easily and constantly. I am aligned with divine wealth," you are not just talking. You are creating a frequency. And that frequency draws to it people, ideas, and events that match it. Even if you do not believe it fully at first, repetition will build belief. The subconscious does not know the difference between truth and fiction. It only knows repetition. That is why we must speak prosperity, even when we do not yet see it. In the book of Proverbs, it says, "Death and life are in the power of the tongue." This is not metaphor. It is metaphysics. Your words hold spiritual power. When you curse your finances, your opportunities, your self-worth, you close doors that were meant to open. When you bless your life with language that reflects abundance, you open the floodgates. Your words should be in harmony with the life you are calling in. There is no room for complaining, gossip, or self-deprecation when you are creating wealth through divine speech. Start your day with declarations of success. Before the world can tell you who you are, you tell it who you are. Say, "This is a day of favor, of increase, of divine right opportunity." Speak to your wallet. Speak to your bank account. Speak to your future. Declare it blessed, expanded, overflowing. Do not wait until the numbers look good. The numbers follow the energy, and the energy follows your word. Declare abundance in the face of bills. Speak increase in the face of decrease. Say, "I always have what I need. God is my unfailing supply." It is also important to speak power into others. Do not just claim prosperity for yourself. Affirm it for your friends, your family, your community. When you speak abundance into someone else's life, you multiply it in your own. There is no competition in divine economy. What you bless, blesses you back. Celebrate the success of others. Say, "Their success shows what's possible for me. I'm next in line for a miracle." That kind of language builds unity, harmony, and expansion. It invites more into your experience without fear or envy. Watch how you speak in casual conversation. So often, people unconsciously affirm the very struggles they want to escape. Life is hard, they say. Everything's getting more expensive. It's impossible to get ahead. These are not just opinions. They are affirmations. They are subtle agreements with limitation. Instead, replace them with truth. I am rising. Everything is always working out for me. Even in challenge, I prosper. I thrive no matter the conditions. This is not denial. It is divine alignment. It is choosing to speak faith over fear, truth over appearance, power over powerlessness. And when you slip, and you will, because we are human, immediately correct yourself. Cancel the negative statement and replace it with truth. Say, "No, I reject that. I speak abundance. I am divinely supplied." This is how you retrain your mind, your habits, and your expectations. Every word is either building or destroying. Speak as if the universe is listening, because it is. Speak as if your words are angels on assignment, because they are. Develop a sacred practice of speaking prosperity aloud. Whether in prayer, journaling, mirror work, or walking through your home, declare your wealth daily. Let your house hear it. Let your walls echo it. Let your energy reflect it. Say, "Wealth is attracted to me. I move in divine favor. Everything I touch prospers." Say it until your cells believe it. Say it until the world has no choice but to rearrange itself around your words. Say it like your life depends on it. Because in a very real way, it does. Dress, walk, and carry yourself with confidence, because how you present yourself to the world is a reflection of what you believe about yourself. Confidence is not arrogance, and it's not reserved for the rich or famous. It is a spiritual posture, a declaration that you know who you are and whose you are. When you walk in confidence, you signal to the universe that you are ready to receive. You align your outer expression with your inner belief in your worthiness. Your energy precedes you, and before you say a single word, your presence speaks. Florence Scovel Shinn often spoke of the law of expectation and appearance. If you expect to live a prosperous life, you must act the part. Not in pretense, but in alignment. Dressing with intention doesn't require designer labels or extravagant spending. It requires self-respect. It's about showing up for your day, for your dreams, and for yourself with a sense of excellence. When you take the time to groom yourself, wear clean clothes that make you feel good, and walk into every room with your head held high, you are honoring the divine within you. You are saying, "I belong here. I am ready for my good. The way you walk speaks volumes. Do you shuffle with your head down, or do you stride with purpose? Do you walk like someone who believes they are being led by divine intelligence, or someone who feels lost and defeated? Your body carries your story, but it also carries your intention. Change your walk, and you will begin to change how you feel. Straighten your spine. Breathe deeply. Look up. These physical shifts create energetic shifts, and when your body posture aligns with confidence, it sends messages to your subconscious mind. I am safe. I am strong. I am supported. Carry yourself like someone who has already arrived. This is the essence of acting like a millionaire before the money. Not in faking, but in embodying the truth that your value does not begin with a bank balance. You are valuable now. The millionaire mindset is not about the number, it's about the knowing. A millionaire carries themselves with calm, certainty, and self-trust. They don't rush to prove. They don't chase validation. They know their presence has weight. You must begin to feel that way about yourself. Your presence is your currency. Your energy is your introduction. Everything about how you carry yourself is either affirming your abundance or denying it. Are you rushing, scattered, anxious, or are you moving with clarity, peace, and direction? A confident person doesn't need to dominate a room, but their energy cannot be ignored. It's grounded, centered, and aware. You don't have to be loud. You just have to be aligned. Walk into rooms like you have something to offer. Not because of pride, but because you understand your gifts are part of your divine assignment. You also show confidence in how you speak. Is your voice hesitant or steady? Do you speak from your throat or from your soul? Practice speaking with clarity and warmth. You don't need to know everything, but speak as someone who is teachable and worthy of being heard. When you speak, don't diminish yourself. Don't qualify your greatness. Don't say, "Oh, it's just something small," or "it's probably not important." That's not humility. That's fear disguised as modesty. Confidence says, I matter. My thoughts matter. My work matters. How you treat yourself in private reflects how you'll show up in public. Dress well even when no one sees you. Maintain order in your personal space. Set a table for yourself, even if you're dining alone. The way you treat yourself teaches the world how to treat you. When you honor yourself, opportunities will begin to honor you back. You don't need to wait for a special occasion to present yourself with care. Every day is sacred. Every moment is a mirror. Prepare as if the door is about to open, because it is. The world responds to those who carry themselves as if they expect good things to happen, and not because they're lucky, but because they are aligned. People feel your self-image. When you believe in yourself, you give others permission to believe in you too. That's why people are drawn to confidence. It's not the posture, the clothes, or the tone. It's the energy of someone who has chosen to believe in themselves, even before the evidence shows up. It's magnetic. It's divine. It's a declaration of faith in action. Confidence is also shown in how you handle setbacks. A confident person doesn't crumble. They recalibrate. They don't spiral in fear. They pause, listen, adjust, and keep moving. When something doesn't go as planned, they don't question their worth. They trust the redirection. This is the calm power of someone who knows they are being led. That same power is available to you. When you hold your head up even in challenge, you're saying, "This is not the end of my story. My breakthrough is still unfolding." Practice confidence as a daily habit. Lay out your clothes with care. Prepare your speech as though someone important is listening. Make decisions from a place of peace, not panic. Walk like your next opportunity is watching. When you consistently show up as someone who believes they are valuable, you will begin to attract people, places, and possibilities that agree with your energy. The outer world mirrors the inner stance, and confidence is not something you wait to feel. It's something you choose to embody, moment by moment. Give generously, even from a little, because generosity is not about the amount you have, but the spirit with which you give. It is one of the most powerful demonstrations of faith in divine supply. When you give, especially when it feels like you don't have much to give, you are saying to the universe, I do not live in lack. I live in overflow. I trust that as I release, I receive. Florence Scovel Shinn often said, man must prepare for the thing he has asked for, even though there is no sign of it in sight. Giving is preparation. It's a spiritual investment into the law of increase. So many people wait until they feel financially secure before they give, not realizing that giving is often the very key that unlocks that security. It isn't about recklessness. It's about intentional generosity. It's about saying, I am not owned by money. I am not afraid to circulate it. I am a channel, not a container. Money is like blood. It must flow, or it becomes stagnant. When you give, you set that circulation in motion. You bless someone else's life, and in doing so, you open your own to be blessed in return. You don't need to wait to be a millionaire to give like one. A millionaire mindset gives with ease, with joy, and with purpose. Whether it's a small gift, a kind word, a helping hand, or a financial offering. The act of giving sends a powerful signal that you already have more than enough. Even if your current bank account tells another story, your act of generosity is declaring a deeper truth. I am aligned with abundance, and I give because I live in the overflow of divine supply. A fear tells us to hold on tight. It whispers, what if you need that? What if you don't get it back? But faith says, give, and it shall be given unto you. Pressed down, shaken together, and running over. Giving is not about losing, it's about sowing. And when you sow into good soil, into people, causes, or places that align with love and purpose, you set spiritual law into motion. You may not see the return immediately, and it may not come from where you expect, but it will come, it must come, it is law. Generosity also rewires your identity. When you give, you begin to see yourself as someone who has something to offer. It breaks the illusion of powerlessness and replaces it with the truth of your agency. You are not waiting to be rescued. You are participating in the divine economy. You are moving from a mindset of getting to a mindset of giving, and in doing so, you elevate your consciousness. You stop asking, what can I take? And begin asking, what can I contribute? That shift alone raises your frequency and expands your capacity to receive. There is a sacred joy in giving. When you give without expectation, without needing recognition or repayment, you enter into a flow that is higher than transactional living. You are living by grace, by faith, by trust in divine order. And even if no one sees your gift, even if it seems small or insignificant, heaven sees it. The vibration of your generosity is recorded in the energy field of your life, and it will bear fruit in its season. Florence Scovel Shinn taught that man's supply is inexhaustible and unfailing when fully trusted, and giving is a demonstration of that trust. Some of the wealthiest people in the world began giving when they had very little. They made giving a habit, not a luxury, and in doing so, they created a rhythm of abundance that followed them through every stage of life. You don't have to give large sums. Give consistently. Give cheerfully. Give intentionally. Give a portion of what you receive, even if it's just a few coins. Give time, love, service, encouragement. The principle is the same. What you sow, you reap. What you release returns. Giving also keeps your heart open. It prevents you from becoming hardened by fear or scarcity. It keeps you connected to others, to purpose, to something bigger than yourself. When you give, you remind yourself that you are not alone, that we are all connected in this divine dance of giving and receiving. You become a blessing, and in becoming a blessing, you attract blessings. Not because you're trying to manipulate outcomes, but because you are aligning with divine nature, and the nature of God is generosity. Creation itself is an act of giving. Make giving a regular part of your life, not just something you do when you feel secure. If you wait for the perfect moment to give, it may never come. But if you give from where you are, you will begin to see doors open, often in ways you could never predict. Generosity is a vibration, and that vibration makes room for miracles. When you give freely, you invite freedom into your finances. You declare that you are not ruled by money, but that you rule over it with wisdom, joy, and spiritual power. You can give anonymously, publicly, quietly, or boldly, but give. Let your giving be an act of worship, a declaration of trust, a celebration of abundance. Let it be part of your identity, part of your rhythm, part of your wealth-building journey. Give from the heart, and you will find that your heart becomes larger, your vision becomes clearer, and your life becomes richer in ways far beyond money. Detach from fear and trust divine timing, because fear is the great blocker of abundance, and divine timing is the rhythm of true prosperity. When you are consumed by fear, fear of not having enough, fear of missing out, fear of being left behind, you become energetically closed. You tighten your grip on what little you have and push away the very flow that would bring increase into your life. Fear is a form of disbelief. It is a declaration, often silent and unconscious, that says, I do not trust that things are working out for me. But trust, especially in divine timing, is a spiritual posture that opens the gates of heaven. Florence Scovel Shinn taught that fear is inverted faith. It is faith in the wrong outcome, faith in lack, faith in failure. But you were never designed to live in fear. You were created to live in divine confidence, knowing that what is yours cannot be withheld, delayed, or denied when you walk in alignment. To trust divine timing is to understand that things are unfolding in perfect order, even when they don't follow your personal calendar. There is a spiritual sequence to manifestation, and it does not operate according to human anxiety. When you are ruled by fear, you begin to grasp. You chase opportunities, force outcomes, and exhaust yourself trying to control the process. But control is an illusion. True power comes from surrender, not weakness, but wise surrender. Surrender to divine intelligence. Trust that the same power that created galaxies knows how to bring you your breakthrough. When you try to rush the process, you interfere with divine orchestration. But when you detach from the timeline and say, I trust that all is working together for my good, you align with a higher flow. Detachment is not about apathy or giving up. It is about releasing the desperation. It's saying, I desire this, I'm preparing for it. I'm open to receive. But I am not going to obsess, panic, or cling. You can be committed to your vision and detached from how and when it arrives. That balance creates peace, and peace is fertile ground for prosperity. When your energy is calm and grounded, you become magnetic to opportunities, ideas, and people that resonate with your next level. Fear often comes from needing proof. The human mind wants certainty, evidence, timelines. But the spiritual path asks you to move without seeing, to act as if the answer is already on the way. That's not denial, it's divine faith. Florence said, faith knows it has already received and acts accordingly. When you detach from fear, you make room for that kind of faith. You shift from the energy of begging to the energy of receiving. You stop asking, when will it come? And start saying, thank you, it is already done. Much of the fear around abundance comes from old programming. We've been taught to hustle, worry, and strive, to believe that unless we are in a constant state of urgency, we won't succeed. But this is a lie born of scarcity consciousness. Divine timing is not rushed, it does not bend to fear. It unfolds with grace and precision. A seed does not bloom the moment you plant it. But underground, transformation is happening. And if you dig it up too soon, you sabotage the process. You must allow the vision to take root, to grow unseen, to be nurtured by your faith. When things don't happen on your preferred schedule, it's easy to assume something's wrong. But divine delay is not divine denial. Sometimes the delay is protection. Sometimes it is preparation. You may not yet be ready for the level you are asking for. Or the path to your blessing may still be clearing. Your job is not to figure out all the logistics. It is to trust, to stay in alignment, and to keep showing up with expectation. Detachment allows you to live in joy now, instead of postponing happiness for some future event. Fear also causes you to compare your journey with others. You look around and think, they're ahead, I'm behind. But there is no behind in divine timing. You are exactly where you are meant to be, learning exactly what your soul needs to learn to hold the blessings you've asked for. Trust that your story is unfolding in a way that is uniquely perfect for you. No one can take what is yours. No one can outrun their own lessons. When you detach from fear, you stop competing and start trusting. Another gift of trusting divine timing is the inner stillness it creates. Instead of scrambling, you begin to listen. You notice the signs, the nudges, the whispers of intuition. You recognize when to move and when to wait. You make decisions from peace, not panic. And that peace multiplies. It becomes your frequency. It becomes your home. And from that place of divine trust, all good things are drawn to you. Not because you chased them, but because you were aligned with their arrival. You can begin practicing detachment by observing your thoughts. When fear arises, pause and speak truth over it. Say, I release this fear. I trust the timing of my life. Everything is unfolding perfectly for me. Write it. Repeat it. Declare it until your nervous system begins to believe it. The more you practice this spiritual muscle, the more naturally you will release control and step into trust. And that trust will carry you through seasons of waiting, through uncertainty, through transition, with grace. Visualize and act as if the goal is already achieved, because the imagination is the workshop of the soul, the sacred space where the invisible becomes visible. What you can see in your mind with clarity and consistency, you can manifest in your reality. Florence Scovel Shinn taught that everything begins in the spiritual realm first, before it shows up in the physical. Visualization is the act of seeing with the eyes of faith, of walking by vision, not by sight. It is not daydreaming or wishful thinking. It is focused, intentional, creative prayer in motion. When you visualize your desired outcome, you are impressing it upon the subconscious mind. And the subconscious, once impressed with a clear image, goes to work attracting the people, places, resources, and situations that bring that vision into form. The universe responds to the blueprint you carry inside. If your inner world is filled with doubt, confusion, and chaos, your outer world will reflect the same. But if your inner world is rich with vision, belief, and expectancy, life will begin to shift around you in miraculous ways. You must see yourself already there, already successful, already abundant, already fulfilled, not someday, but now. In your imagination, live the life you desire. Feel the emotions, hear the sounds, picture the environment. How does your home look? How does your bank account feel? What kind of conversations are you having? Who are you surrounded by? The more vividly and frequently you return to this inner movie, the more you align your vibration with it. And vibration is the language the universe understands best. But visualization alone is not enough. You must act as if the vision is already true. This is where many people stop short. They imagine their future, but continue to behave as if they are still in lack. Acting as if means embodying the version of yourself who has already crossed the finish line. It means making decisions from abundance, not from fear. It means showing up with confidence, walking with purpose, and living with expectancy. It's not about pretending. It's about stepping into identity. Florence said, "Man can only receive what he sees himself receiving." If you see yourself struggling, waiting, hoping, barely making it, you'll continue to attract more of the same. But if you begin to see yourself as powerful, equipped, divinely supported, and destined for greatness, your entire posture will change. You'll speak differently. You'll think more boldly. You'll begin to attract experiences that confirm your new self-concept. That's the essence of acting as if. It's not performance. It's transformation. You can start by shifting small habits. Begin treating your current surroundings as if they are sacred ground. Clean your space as if it's already the luxury home you envision. Dress in a way that reflects your self-worth. Manage your money, no matter how small, with the care and order of someone handling great wealth. Speak about your life as if blessings are unfolding every day. Carry yourself with the grace and certainty of someone who knows good is always on its way. These small choices create alignment between your present and your vision. One powerful technique is scripting, writing out your future as if it has already happened. Write, I am so grateful now that I have complete financial freedom. I wake up every day filled with purpose and peace. I live in my dream home. I give generously. I walk in divine favor. This practice not only activates your imagination, it sends a clear signal to the subconscious that this is your new reality. And the subconscious, once programmed, will do everything in its power to make it so. Another way to act as if is to make aligned decisions. Before every choice, ask yourself, what would the successful version of me do in this situation? The person who already has what you desire. How would they speak, think, respond, plan? Begin to consult that future self, live from their wisdom. This is not about pushing or forcing outcomes. It's about living in integrity with the future you already believe in. When you act as if, you are no longer reacting to the past. You are responding to your destiny. Even in moments of doubt, you must return to the vision. Hold it steady. Don't let temporary circumstances talk you out of what you've already seen in your spirit. Protect your vision from the opinions of those who don't understand it. Guard your energy. Keep your eyes on the outcome. Speak life over your process. The more you rehearse the vision mentally and reinforce it through action, the more you become a match for it. Eventually, the world will have no choice but to catch up with the reality you've already decided on within. Living as if is a daily practice. It requires you to rise above appearances and walk by faith. To move through your day, not as someone who is waiting for a miracle, but as someone who is already living inside one. The world mirrors what you believe. So believe boldly, visualize daily, act faithfully, and carry yourself like the door is already open. Because in the spiritual realm, it already is.